All right, class, we're going to take a look at lesson 2.3, which is all about slope. First thing we want to make sure we do with our slope is reduce, which means you make it smaller or you simplify. And we're going to use our calculator for that. So you take your calculator, and I want to see you pushing these buttons. Please get the fraction command in your calculator, and let's do 36 over 45. And when you push enter, that can be reduced to 4 over 5. We must reduce our fraction to make it smaller. Let's try this one right here. We will type -6 on top, 15 in the bottom. And what does that reduce to? -2 over 5. Okay. Here's a couple special cases. When you get the fraction command and we put 0 on top and a number in the bottom, the calculator tells us that it is 0, which means this is going to be a constant line. We must simplify into 0. Do not leave it like this. And finally, if we get the fraction command, -34 over 0, what does the calculator tell us? There's an error. We cannot divide by 0. This is not allowed, which means you write undefined. Undefined. That means that the line must be a vertical line. It's a special case. Okay. Undefined is when the denominator is 0. So this is the slope. Okay. We have learned how to do slope from a table before, okay, because it's just the pattern. So delta y is the y side. It's the right side of the pattern. Okay, so over here we have 4 more students. So 4 goes on top. Every 3 hours. So 3 goes in the bottom. And that is the slope fraction, which is the pattern from the table. Let's take a look at this one here. Okay. So what's happening to the people? This is +5 +5. So I'm going to put a +5 on top. And over here, it's +1. +1. Interpreting the slope, we've done the pattern before. Okay. The sentence that you write is 5 more people. 5 more people. So the 5 is the people. And then what do we say next? We say every 1 hour. And so the 1 is the hours. So we've done this before in Unit 1, and that is how you make the slope from the table. Which graph is correct? If our slope is positive, that means it would go up 5 and over 1. So let's see, is this the correct graph? Or is this the correct graph? This goes up 1 over 5. This line goes up 5 and then over 1. So the correct graph would be this one right here. 5 more people every 1 hour. Let's take a look at another table. Okay. What's happening to the dollars? The dollars are decreasing. -10. -10. So there's 10 less dollars. Okay, so this is the dollars. This is +5 every 5 days. But remember, we have to reduce this. And so you can use your brain or you can use your calculator. -10 over 5 reduces to -2. negative 2, and the calculator will not tell you the invisible number 1. So when we make our sentence, okay, I'm going to use these smaller words. I'm not going to say minus 10. I will say $2 less every 1 day. I will use the small reduced slope. And which graph is correct? This graph is going up 2 over 1. This graph is 2 over 1. And this graph is going down, minus 2 over 1. So which graph is correct for this table? It must be the negative one, the line that is decreasing. We've done these lines before, so let's just refresh. If the line is increasing, the slope is positive. If the line is decreasing, your slope is negative. Here's a special case. If it is a constant line, your slope is 0. And if it is a vertical line going up and down, okay, then it is undefined. This little man will die. All right, let's do the next page. Finding slope from tables is like finding the pattern, but instead of using words, we will use just numbers. So what's happening right here? This is a little tricky, so maybe I will look down here. Minus 5 to 5, or you can think of this. This is plus 10 each time. Let's check. Does negative 15 plus 10 make negative 5? Yes. Okay, so the slope is 10 over, okay, 10 more students. And what's happening here? This is plus 4. This one's plus 4. This must be plus 4. We can check. Is negative 1 plus 4 3? Yes. Okay, so we put the 4 in the bottom. But can that be reduced? Let's go check with our calculator. The fraction 10 over 4 does reduce. So I must write 5 over 2. Okay? Since this is positive, the line is increasing. Let's take a look at this table. This is a little strange. It's plus 0, plus 0. So 0 on top. And what's happening? What's happening over here? Plus 1 each time. So plus 1. But we have to reduce this. So let's see what the calculator says. We have 0 over 1. And that equals 0. Okay, that equals 0. So what kind of line is it? Constant or vertical? It's going to be a constant line. This is the one that's death. If they give you 2 points, okay, we need to make them into a table. Let's make a table all by ourselves. So this first point right here, the x number is 1, and the y number is negative 4. The next point has minus 2 and 5. So now I will find the pattern. Okay, negative 4 up to positive 5. You can look at a number line for this. Okay. Negative 4 plus 9. Let's check. Negative 4 plus 9. Does that take us to 5? Yes. Now what about the other side? What's the pattern here? This is going down. This is negative. I think it's negative 3. Let's check. 1 minus 3 takes us to minus 2. So the denominator is negative 3. Let's see if that reduces. We will get our fraction. 9 with a negative 3 reduces to negative 3. Okay, and the calculator will not put the 1. So this line is not positive. This is decreasing. And finally, I'm going to take 2 points and put them into a table. The next point is negative 8 and 14. So what's happening here? This is negative 30, and it goes up, up, up to the positives. That's going to be plus 44. If you're not sure, you could subtract those. Negative 30 plus 44 takes us to 14. So 44 more students. This is going down, down to the negatives. Minus how much? 16 minus 24 takes us to negative 8. Okay, so we will put a negative down here. Let's see if this fraction can reduce. 44 divided by negative 24 makes negative 11 over 6. This is negative, so the line is decreasing. We've talked about how to interpret the sentence. Let's refresh how to interpret a point. Okay, on the table, this is 1 point. Okay, when it's a point, we always say, on hour 4, there was 16 students. Okay, interpret means a sentence, and we say on. We say on. Let's take a look at this table. Okay, they want us to interpret this point. Okay, this one right here. And so we will use these words. So let's start right here. On year 16, and now let's say this. There is 24 ounces. It's not 24 every time. We say on. We do not say every. Over here, let's interpret this point. Okay, we're not going to say every. We're going to say on. Okay, so on, what is this? On day 1, what did we have? There is 4 flowers. There's not 4 flowers every day. We say on for a point. On. But when you're interpreting the slope, every day it goes down. More people, every hour, more. Then you say every. And that's for the slope. We could use the slope to make a table. Put this pattern on the table. And then the graph. 3 more books. Okay, so that's over here. The thing that we're counting is books. And there's 3 more. 4 plus 3 is 7. Plus 3, 10. Plus 3, 13. Every 2 days. So this must be days. Every 2 days plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. So now we will put this on the graph. The days is down here, and the books is over here. Let's plot these points. Let's zoom in so you can see a little bit better. day 0, it is 4. Day 2 goes to 7. Day 4 goes to 10. And day 6 goes to 13. Okay. So here is our line. We can go ahead and graph our increasing line. Okay. And I'm going to show you where the pattern is. Okay. So since this is increasing, okay, our slope is 3 more books every 2 days. Delta y over delta x. And here it is. Up 3 books every 2 days. Up 3 books every 2 days. Up 3 books every 2 days. It happens over and over and over. I hope you've written all these notes down. It is now time for you to work on your practice. Your practice for this lesson is 2.3. Okay. The pages for your homework are 16 through 19. Good luck, Math 1.